room. You've been discriminating against me and discriminating against some people in the briefing room. And I'm saying that this is the U.S., this is not China, this is not Russia. This is not Russia.
Okay.
What you are doing, you are making a mockery of the First Amendment.
Decorum, please.
It's been 7 months. You've not called on me. You've done my messages. I'm saying that that's not right. That's not right.
On times. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Welcome to the press briefing room. Okay.
But this is not right.
Sir, let it go.
Are we ready? Are we going to behave? While many folks...
Decorum, please. Simon. Sorry to our guests. We apologize.
Yes, I apologize. I apologize. Okay, while many folks here in U.S. are focused on March Madness or the World Baseball Classic, go Team USA tomorrow night, by the way, we at the White House today are going to focus on another sport, which is soccer. Or football, as some of my guests might say, specifically AFC Richmond. And I can neither confirm nor deny the existence of the Believe banners that we're seeing around, that you all may be seeing around the White House complex today. It is an honor, it is truly an honor to have Coach Lasso here with us today. On a serious note, though, because this is actually very serious for the reasons that they all hear, Jason and his castmates, and there's a real message around mental health. And they are meeting with the President and the First Lady, as you all know, this afternoon on this important topic. And as you know, the President has made mental health the centerpiece of his unity agenda. And I know that Jason wants to share a few words. And so, Coach Lasso, the podium is yours.
I appreciate it.
Here you go.
Thank you. Thank you. I truly did not know it was going to be this one when on the way here, not until we're out here, so thank you for taking an interest, and I know you're here for bigger reasons than us, but I just want to say that on behalf of myself, everyone here with me today, and the numerous other folks that it takes to make our show, Ted Lasso, it is sincerely an honor to visit the White House and to have the opportunity to speak to the President and to the First Lady about the importance of mental health. So, like, no matter who you are, no matter where you live, no matter who you voted for, we all probably, I assume, we all know someone who has, or have been that someone ourselves actually, that's struggled, that's felt isolated, that's felt anxious, that has felt alone, right? And it's actually one of the many things that believe it or not, that we all have in common as human beings, right? And so that means that it's something that we can all, and should talk about with one another when we're feeling that way, or when we recognize that in someone feeling that way. So please, we encourage everyone, and this is a big theme of the show, is like to check in with your neighbor, your coworker, your friends, your family, and ask how they're doing, and listen sincerely. You all ask questions for a living, but you also listen for a living. So who am I preaching to? The choir, that is. Okay. And look, and while it's easier said than done, we also have to know that we shouldn't be afraid to ask for help ourselves. And that does take a lot, especially when it's something that has such a negative stigma to it, such as mental health. And it doesn't need to be that way. And if you can ask for that help from a professional, fantastic. If it needs to be a loved one, equally as good in a lot of ways, because sometimes you just need to let that pressure valve release. The President's working on, and his own team, although his team is real, our team is make-believe. And don't think I don't know that, despite what the people at FIFA and EA will tell you. We are actually a make-believe team. But, they're working very hard to make sure that that option is available to as many Americans as possible. Now, look, I know in this town, a lot of folks don't always agree. Right? And don't always feel heard, seen, listened to, yes? But I truly believe that we should all do our best to help take care of each other. That's my own personal belief. I think that's something that everybody up here on stage believes in. That's things we talk about in the writer's room, and we talk about in the editing room, and everything in between. And just like, we just want to emulate, these make-believe folks that we all play at AFC Richmond and the way they take care of one another. That is the wish fulfillment of the show, aside from me playing coach and these guys being professional footballers. That's like, that's a big part of the show. Now, I can't help but take this opportunity to take at least one question. So please, yeah. Wait, hold on here. Decorum, right? That was the word we were using, decorum? Yes, sir, familiar face. Hi.
Trent Crim. Fake journalist.
Yes, sir. Yes, Trent, nice to see you.
How do you feel about Kansas City being one of the named hosting
2026 World Cup?
Here I was hoping for a softball. Okay, you know what? I'm very excited. Truth be told, yeah, Kansas City's gonna be one of these teams. I mean, I love this town. What I am genuinely worried about is once we get all these folks from all over the world to come to Kansas City and see our city, eat our food, meet our people, you're gonna have, you know, a lot of folks that won't want to move away. That's what I'm worried about. That's it for us. All right. Thank you very much. All right. See you guys. Thank you sincerely so much for having us and putting up with us. Now on to greener pastures.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right,
Thank
see
you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you guys. Thank you. Thank you.
Excuse me?
You don't have a little Joe Biden impression?
Nah, they got the real one here now. You know? Yeah. No, I need fake teeth and, you know, and injected with a lot more chutzpah to pull that off. So.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. I just got to say something before we start. I know some folks are probably going to leave the room. Make sure.
Karine, what I'm saying is, you can't keep discriminating against some people in the briefing room because you don't like them, you don't like them.
So you have a choice.
No,
You have a choice. You have a choice.
A number of people
Okay.
in the briefing room, and I'm saying that that's not right. This is not China. This is not Russia. This is the United States. This is the White House. It's been 7 months. I sent you emails.
The rest of us are here too, pal.
It's been 7 months. You guys have not done
If
anything for
you
me.
have grievances, you should bring them to her later.
I have
Right
done
now,
that.
this is
I've
for the
done that.
entire
All my
press
emails
corps.
have been
And the
ignored.
press corps is tired of dealing with this.
It isn't
I've
just
done
about
that.
you,
I
Simon.
understand that you get questioned all the time and you don't understand what it is to sit here for 8 months and being discriminated
Take
against.
your
I understand that you're in the
legitimate
front row and you feel
questions
comfortable and
to
you
the
get
press
questions all the
secretary
time.
at
But
another
there are
time.
people in the back who don't get any questions.
Don't make assumptions about what the rest of us do. Mind your manners when you're in here. If you have a problem, you bring it up afterwards. But you are impinging on everybody in here who's only trying to do their job.
Okay, thank you. I'm saying that you shouldn't discriminate against some people because you don't agree with their question, you're offended by your
You made your
question.
point.
We all heard it.
All right. Guys, as you all know, many of you know, this is the White House press briefing room, a historic room, a room that should have decorum, a room where folks should respect their colleagues and respect the guests that are here. And I understand that there's going to be give and take. That's the way the press briefing has gone for decades before me. And I will always, always respect that. But what I will not appreciate is disrespecting your colleagues and disrespecting guests who are here to talk, who were here to talk about an incredibly important issue, which is mental health. And what has just occurred this last 10, 15 minutes is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. So we're either going to continue the briefing or we can just end the briefing right here. No. Okay, well then let's go.